Yo, 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 once again, it's your boy Mac357 and your boy
Big Chuck in the building.
And tonight, I'm telling you, if this happens, it will be legendary. We will have a legend in the building. We will have Kool DJ Red Alert.
That's big. That's big if that happens.
But before we get to that, I guess I have to pay my debt.
Wait. We got you on camera, right? I hope the camera can see this. As y'all can see, this is $20 right here.
Whatever.
I told you, Floyd Mayweather was gonna whoop that behind.
Oh wow, here we go. Here we go.
Shout out the money team one time. I'd like to thank you. For placing that wager. It was nice. You know, I can fill my tank up now. Mom, you don't gotta give me gas money. Thank you.
Anywho, once again, we're right here at the Matrix Studios, right here in the Bronx. We're gonna get a few things out the way. We're on 87.9 Real Deal FM, so you can hear us live if you're listening to us, as well as the Matrix Studios Network right here in BX Borough, Bronx, New York.
We got a new website now. It's www.dsnbx.online. So if y'all want to catch us, live and see us, see these beautiful ugly faces, go to that website.
Well, as well as you can also take the opportunity to, once again, download that Ustream app. And you can go through Ustream and type in the Matrix Studios Network and then see us as well. Also, just want to get out the way as well. Coming to the stage, or next up to the stage, is coming up September 20th, where the Matrix Studios and a few other sponsors will be taking the opportunity to highlight people in the industry, giving them awards and giving opportunities to people who have artistry such as music, hip hop, rap, poetry, different other things where they can shine that night for people in the industry. One of the people being honored once again is my brother, like no other. Funk Master Flex will be honored.
Big homie.
Sway from Sway in the Morning.
Shout out Sway one time.
Miss Wendy Williams.
Okay, Wendy.
How you doing? All right. So there's a few people that are going to be honored that night, whether they are there or emeritus, and somebody accepts the award on their behalf. We will then make sure that they get it. But it's going to be a great night. It's going to be right there in the Bronx at Club Mingles. It's currently $20 to get in. So take the opportunity to download that dsnbx app. And not only do you get the opportunity to see those people, but you get the opportunity to vote for other people as well.
Right.
Who are currently vying for votes to be receive awards that night and accolades for the work that they've put in throughout the year. I like to once again shout out Lyrically Live, Shia Ponte, and Jess Hayes. Jess Hayes. Oh, yes, Jess Hayes. And we have the DJ in the building, who's our DJ as well.
No doubt. Thanks for having me.
DJ
always.
Droop.
It is.
Shy I've known for a long time, and young lady does extreme work.
She's also up for that award on that same what is it, dsnbx app.
Yes, that's what I'm getting to that, and I want everybody to take the opportunity and go vote for her. She and Jess Hayes definitely deserve to have Lyrically Live as one of the best shows out now. They deal with a lot of underground artists and basically put shine to them. And, some of them will be here as well. But they are incredible as far as, helping people to realize their potential and helping them to grow. So if you want to take that opportunity to, if you want to give her an opportunity to shine and be rewarded for her efforts and the great show that she puts on every Friday.
Friday.
From what time?
7 to 9.
So you get the opportunity to see Lyrically Live from 7 to 9. So go vote for her. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great time.
I want to switch it up a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of a somber moment, but it's necessary. My heart and prayers go out to the people of Texas.
Yes.
Y'all are going through a extremely tough time, but just know that, you know, America's watching. Everybody got your back, and please stay up. Prayers are definitely up. You guys will recover and will bounce back.
And when I tell you that the love and the prayers are not just enough, I'm not Kevin Hart. I'm not any of the people that are currently out there. I'm not you broke mother suckers. I'm not my man Michael Blackson, but I will tell you, take the opportunity to give to the Red Cross. Take the opportunity and give to organizations who you know will give the monies to people in Texas. From what I read, it's going to be in the billions to rectify what Harvey has done. I used to like Harvey Bristol's cream. I'm not drinking that anymore because Harvey is gone now. I don't like Harvey. Definitely take the opportunity to show your love if you know people in Texas. And the reason why this hits me is because my brother used to live there not even maybe 3 months ago before he moved back to New York.
Wow.
So I thank God that he's here in New York and he's safe. And for all those people who are suffering and pain and lost people and lost their homes and, you know, the different things that they lost. Like the man said who was walking out of the, when he was walking by and the reporter stopped him, he said, what do you have to, he's like, well, how do you feel at this moment? He said, I thank God. I thank God for everything that he's done for me. And for all those who are alive and still well and still able to breathe, thank God.
For sure.
Material
things could be replaced.
Yes. Yes. But on a brighter note, I just want to say to everybody that's out there, give as much as you can. Make sure those families feel whole again and are taken care of. But I just want to say that we are blessed to have the opportunity to say things to you at this moment and get that word out to you to help those people in need. So as much as you can give. You know, because when you don't have anything, it's kind of hard not to see the up from the bottom. And I also want to, even on another somber moment at this moment, the VMAs recently just happened, and there was a young man who put out the number of the helpline for health, and he highlighted that because there are people who are in communities who don't really talk about mental health and different other things. And once again, that strikes home as well because I have a brother who's mentally disabled. Yes. I tell people all the time that if you need help, get it. Recently, and my deepest condolences to Styles P and his wife. They lost their child because she committed suicide. It's a very real thing in all communities, in all races. Take the opportunity to get that mental health. Talk to someone. You're not alone. There are people who care about you and who can help you. Okay, so I'm going to get lighter now.
There we go.
I got the heaviness off.
All right.
In this moment, before I introduce this brother, and when I tell you he is the pinnacle of why I can stand here at this moment, this young man, well, he's 20-something years old. He don't know yet.
24.
24? Oh.
24.
Oh, okay. The young buck in the building, there is people in this industry who have paved many roads for what we do here now. There would be no evening experience that's currently happening, where me and Big Chuck every week are sitting here talking to you.
Facts.
If there wasn't for people who were sitting to my left and soon will be in the middle sitting with us,
Sure.
there were no platforms that people had where we could see our own and be, you know, empowered and strengthened by the music that they played that reflected us. Ambassador is a small word.
Understatement. That's an understatement.
A giant amongst men is small compared to what he's really done as far as breaking records, setting records, being honored in the not only the Bronx Walk of Fame, but as well as being a person that is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know what you got to do to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It's not something easy to get into. I can't get in there, and I could buy a ticket. I'm just saying. But the point is, the gentleman is in the building, and the one person that I'm talking about is, they call him Red, they call him the Bum, they call him Kool DJ Red Alert, and blessings to have this man in the building.
For sure. And
we definitely gonna chop it up, and we're gonna talk. But and can we get a proper intro? That's what I'm talking about.
That's classic right there.
If you don't know that sound, I don't know what you was doing. You was living under a rock somewhere. But I'm going to bring this man to sit right here where I'm currently standing. I'm going to move over one. But we got Kool DJ Red Alert in the building.
What an introduction, man.
It goes without saying. It's something that is well-deserved, something that has been put out for, or should have been said for years from the things that you've done in the industry.
Man, listen here. One thing to keep you going, do what you love what you do. Plain and simple. When you put your passion into what you want to be involved with, when you want to be a part of it, everything will come fall and fall in place. That's the way I look at it.
Wisdom. That's knowledge right there.
That's it.
So for all those people who are listening, you just heard him drop a jewel on you about if you have something that you're passionate about and you put forth the effort and the work, you get the opportunity to see the fruition of that. This man has been in the industry for over 30 years. He started out in the BX borough, learning from different DJs and watching them and, you know, understanding some of the things that they were doing on the turntables and enjoying that.
Definite.
And just to speak to my friend here, he's also an athlete who actually played basketball, D1.
Yeah, for former college athlete. I'm washed up now.
What college?
Mount St. Mary's University.
Oh, okay.
You went to Hampton, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's far. It's not that far.
Full scholarship, correct, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And then from there, when you came back, not only did you teach one of the members of African Mbata the stylings of what a DJ does, but as you went along and listening, you listened to Kool Herc.
Listen to Kool Herc. Listen to Pete DJ Jones. A couple of the DJs from Lower Manhattan that was in the clubs that come from either Queens or from Brooklyn, like rest in peace, Grandmaster Flowers.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Flowers, because some people get confused, think I'm talking about Flash. But Grandmaster Flowers, person, rest in peace, Charisma. Who else? The Together Brothers. The first female I ever saw with Pete DJ Jones was Becky DJ Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, and the host others, but when it came to up in the Bronx, I just followed the waves of Kool Herc. So I learned how to look at what they was doing downtown and what Herc was doing in the Bronx. I try and learn how to mesh it together. Like that.
Well, and as you were doing so, you not only created a sound, but you were the first one to actually on air for 98.7 to bring music that wasn't normal. you had people playing R&B, you had people playing disco. Disco was on its way out, and then R&B was still alive.
Yes.
And when you came in and brought hip hop, people were like, "What is that?"
Yeah, because we're still considered very new. Of course, too, within us, you know, hip hop was always within the hood, as we call it, the streets, and we never knew that it was going to go to commercial level. So when I had the opportunity to be on the radio station, a major radio station, I was able to incorporate the sounds of hip hop culture right along with other different genres of music, because we would always learn how to sandwich everything. That's why I respect Africa Bambaataa, or I call him the father of music in my eyes, because he make us learn to be open-minded to all different forms. New wave, punk rock, soul, funk, you know, even the disco during the time, the R&B, the pop, you know, we just learned to put everything in one.
Speaking on the different genres you just mentioned, speak on the different types of people that influenced you,
Yes.
you know, coming up and then throughout your career. Who are some of those people?
Oh man, there's so many people, because I got to mention number one, my brother, because you know, two things with my brother. He influenced me for, you know, playing basketball. You know, he's one of the first members under Mr. Homebill Rucker that later on, you know, after his passing, my brother along with Bob McCullough, Fred Crawford, and many others, they continued the legacy of the record tournament. So if I wasn't up in the closet pulling out that basketball, I was always in his record collection.
Right.
And in the household, you know, being raised under my grandparents that come from Antigua, West Indies. Yeah, I got that in my blood.
Yes.
You know, in the household was, I just mentioned, you know, he had funk, soul, R&B, some pop, and along with some Caribbean sounds that come from back home, my grandparents.
Right.
You know, some soca, calypso, you know. So I learned to be open-minded to listen to a little bit of everything.
Beautiful thing.
So that's the first step I learned in the house. And then when I come on the outside, start layering all the commercial stuff. And then by the time I got to high school, learned about the multicultural effect, because, you know, you live within Manhattan. I grew up in Harlem.
Right.
But during my time growing up, you know, it was majority of the urban environment within the blacks and very small Latino. But by the time I got up to Clinton, you have Caucasians, Latino, you got, let me see, you also have what you call Asians right along with us, you know, so everything. And then it was a crazy time I came up there, because I went to Clinton, which was an all-boy high school.
Right.
At that same time, was in the midst of the gang era. Do you know how many gangs was in that school? An all-boy school?
I believe it's a ton of them, probably.
Man, it's not, it's nameless. I mean, you know, the Skulls, the Nomads, the Javelins, the Bachelors, the man, I mean, the list is the Spades. I mean, the list is long.
How are you able to kind of stay away from that and kind of keep on the right path?
The basketball, because, you know, my homeroom roommate, I say homeroom classmate, was Blood, who was the leader of the Black Pearls that later on became known as a boxer by the name of Mitch Green. Woo!
Wow.
So, you know, it's like me and him, we kicked it off kind of awkward, but we got all right.
Okay.
And then yeah, because, you know, I had the little chip on my shoulder coming from Harlem, going up in the Bronx, and, you know, you want to show that you're not scared, even though, you know, this guy's 6'6", but, you know, but you have to show him. But he saw that, you know, and listen here, this guy, I like him. You know, he just took me under his wing. He didn't take me and put me involved with the gangs, but he saw what I like to do, play ball, and, you know, he kind of looked after me.
Wow. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that you did also was bring us some of the most prolific groups that were out. The Jungle Brothers,
Yes.
Tribe Called Quest,
Yes.
Moni Love,
Yes.
and I can go on, but you had some of the baddest, if you want to say, neo rap groups around. When I say neo, because I'm talking about they had soul, they had flavor to them that was different than everybody else. There was, before there was a Jill Scott and they talked about neo soul, there was, you know, people like Tribe Called Quest, and their beats weren't hardcore. They were more or less, like you said, on a path of music that was a little bit different.
Right, you know. because we all know that in the culture of hip hop, you know, it's the hard driven beat that we go for. But a lot of people don't understand the beginning of the culture. Before records was made, we was cutting up all different types of songs that had either some of the, you know, the soulful sound or the country sound or the jazz sound, but we learned how to mesh it in. So by the time when, you know, you had the Jungle Brothers, Mike G, my nephew, Sammy B, my cousin, and Africa, who was first known as Shazam.
Yes.
You know, they all went to Mary Bertram. Well, Sammy didn't go, but him and Mike G and Africa went to Mary Bertram. So when they kept coming to me about, I want to make a record, I said, you sure? So I went to my man Tony D, and he just built a studio in his home. I said, okay, got somebody. Boom. And I didn't even touch nothing. I just allowed them to be their self. But I realized all them tapes I was making for being involved with what I was doing, Mike G was taking them tapes and studying them. And he was passing it on to his partner and everything. And they had their own idea of what to put together.
It was very organic. It was something that was new. It was something that wasn't heard of because, you know, you had other groups that are out at the time that were doing the hardcore thing. Right. And, you know, trying to follow a certain path.
And then you had some that came across in a melodic sound because, you know, we talking about in the mid-'80s at the time, you know, we had the Eric B. Rakims, we had the Boogie Down Productions, we had the Salt and Peppers, rest in peace, Heavy D. Kool D became a solo artist.
You gonna make him
go
crazy?
The list is long, you know, and Jazzy Jeff Freshman. I mean, the list is long. So now here it is. Jungle Brothers come within a couple years later. They studying what is it that I had on the tapes, and what they did the same thing what I did. They learned how to mesh it together.
What was your, I guess your thought process? Where was your mindset at when trying to get all these artists to collaborate for mixtapes?
Well, I wouldn't take all the credit upon myself. Because here it is, the same school, Mary Bertram, that my nephew and Africa went to, is the same time they was in there with Q-Tip, Ali Shaheen, what's my man, he's from the X-Clan, Brother Jay.
Yes.
I mean, you know, quite a few of them. So they all was combined together. So when it came to the Jungle Boys start doing their thing, they reached out to Q-Tip, brought him in. At the same token of time, I got very close with Mark the 45 King. Big up to my man Mark. He had under his ring, he had Queen Latifah, Lakeem Shabazz. He had Chill Rob G. Rest in peace Apache. And then at the same token of time, you know, I got real good with rest in peace my man Scott LaRock. You know, we lost so many greats.
Life Dog.
So you know, it was like it was a chain. We was all chaining along. You know, and I know a lot of people go and look at it and sense attention because of me. Why? Because I get a chance to program this on the radio.
Right.
Yes.
So that's where they look at me as a spearhead amongst everybody around me. So I mean, I can take some of the credit, but I'm not going to take all the credit. I'll say we all learn how to command together.
You know what it is. Mac357, Big Chuck, I see you. The Evening Experience, Funk Flex. I mean, you know what we about.
That's my dude right there.
Yes, sir.
That's my dude.
That's my brother. I tell him all the time he's a great man.
Yeah.
But actually, didn't he used to work for you?
Actually, no. I mean, I put in consideration they filled in for me.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's what happened because once that I started doing live, so every time when I was going out of town, instead of putting that, like a pre-record, I had somebody fill in for me.
Nice.
So that's when I asked. First person was Sweet Daddy Sammy B of the Jungle Brothers. And then after that, that's when I asked Flex to do it. And you know, hand in hand, because when it was come to the end that Kiss FM was getting ready to convert into more R&B classic soul.
Right.
And they had Flex over there at Hot 97. He spoke for me to come over there.
Right.
You know, and we just kept on going right from there.
Yeah, because you've been on Hot 97. You've been on Power 105.
Yes.
And now you're back at WBLS.
Yeah, but I started at Kiss.
Yes.
Wow.
Started at Kiss FM, from there to Hot 97. Then came back to Kiss for a minute, then went to Power 105, and then came back to Kiss for the final time until Kiss closed down.
Right.
And now I'm at BLS. So you might as well say I've been at every urban station in New York City.
Wow.
Even
That's
Sirius,
amazing. Amazing.
Sirius as well, correct?
Huh? I've been on Sirius. Before I got combined with XM, I was on Sirius. I was also doing radio down in Atlanta. I was doing a station called Magic 107.5, 97.5. I also was doing mixes down in St. Martin's.
Okay.
In a radio station down there.
So with all the different stations you've worked on, what are some of the different elements you've encountered?
Well, I went according to what the format was. Of course, majority is R&B, but then go according to the different demographics. Because when I was playing, for example, like down in Atlanta, it was catering to a much older audience, so I wasn't playing the younger set. I was playing more the older set, the class. And then even when I came back to KISS before it closed down, I was playing that. But now at BLS, it is known for catering to the older crowd, but now they open up for me to play a more younger sound. You know why? Because here it is. Years ago, when people was in their teens, in their 20s, it's now in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah. Right.
So they grew up with me. So now, here it is, they're having their kids and their youngins and their family listening to the sounds. So they want me to open up and play not just as far back as 70s and 80s, play some like 90s, some early 2000s, and sprinkle in a little bit of that new stuff. And I learned to be judgmental because you can't go get too edgy for that type of station.
Right.
So, I'll be very selective of the R&B, selective of the hip hop that, the older generation want to listen to. They feel they hip, so I learned to combine all. So, but different stations I went to, it go according because like when I was at Power, I was doing like old school and noon.
Right.
So I was playing within then like that era I was saying in the past, and then move up to like the 90s. And then when I came over, I did a couple years ago, I was doing on Hot, I was doing Prop Master Retro, and I was playing that era. I was playing from maybe late 90s to like early 2000s. So, according to the demo, which, the audience, the age bracket, that's what I was catering to.
Wow.
At the time in which you were going from these different stations, and even now, have you ever experienced any racism? And if so, how did you deal with it?
Well, one thing I learned, racism will be in all different factors. Just in general. If I face it according to within the job description that I'm involved with, I learned to have blinders on. Because, let me put it to you this way. When I saw that day 9/11 took place, that is one particular day that people forgot about their race.
Right.
It was their human race.
Right.
Everybody in all different forms of color, creed, whatever it is, came together. Of course, a little bit after that, came right back in. But you know what? You learn how to adjust according to how they are. That don't mean you have to go according to their standards, but you learn how to protect yourself to their standards. So it always going to be around. It's just how you learn how to deal and relate to it.
Now, you were speaking on the different types of music you play. I gotta ask you, since
Yes.
am I the youngest one in the room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I'm the youngest one in the room, so I need you to please speak on it. Just give me your honest feedback about the music you hearing today.
There are some that are good, and there are some not good, because the same thing like during my time coming up. Every single record that came out, every single song that came out during my present time wasn't good. I mean, I was getting hit in the head hard because, yo, man, play my record. I used to tell them honestly, I like it or I don't like it. I had to be judgmental because whatever I program, people following me to whatever I program. So I had to pick and choose whatever. So even to today, you have some that I like, and there's some that I, okay, I'm not touching it.
Give me some examples, please.
I'm not disrespecting them. No, the reason I say that because some people don't understand the difference between you judging a song and you're not judging a person.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, like, you know, here it is. I'm not going to play that Cardi B. You know? The time when that record, that song that Meek Mills came out and spoke something in terms about church, I'm not gonna play that.
Right.
To me, that's sacrilege.
Right.
I like them, but then that don't mean I gotta play every song that he came out with. So I'm just giving you an example. You know, now here it is, Cardi B may have some that sound better later on. I hope so. But as for now, I'm not gonna touch what she got. And I know it's a hot song.
Right.
But I have the right to choose, pick and choose what I'm a program.
Sure.
That's it. One thing don't have nothing to do with the other. You could be my worst enemy. You have a good song, I'm gonna play it.
Right.
You could be my best friend. Your record is whack. I'm not playing it.
There we go.
But it's only right.
Yeah.
You being the person that actually, brought, hip hop into a era where onto the radio that showed, even when disagreements were on wax, that you can play both sides. We just played "The Bridge Is Over."
Right.
That was MC Shan.
Yes.
And then
Bridge Is Over is Boogie Down Production, but talking about The Bridge by MC Shan.
Yes.
Yes.
That in and of itself, at that time, was one of the hottest beefs that was around in that time, and you were the first one to bring that to light, meaning that you were the first one to play it or break that record.
Oh, well, I instigated. I instigated. First and foremost, respect and rest in peace to Super Rock and Mr. Magic.
Yes.
To me, he opened the doors for a lot of people like me to play hip hop on radio.
Yes.
So then under his behalf, he had Marley Marl. Now, when Marley Marl and Mr. Magic was on WBLS, I was on Kiss right along with Chuck Chillout. Even though Marley Marl and them was my rivals, because there's always a rivalry. And Magic with that mouth, he always bad talking you. Here it is, when Marley made some good songs, produced some good songs, I played them.
Right.
Just because, he over there, that don't mean I can't play them. They want to hear, and I would like it myself, so I'm going to play it.
Right.
But now here it is, my man Scott Lavatt, he brought me the song, South Bronx. I was already playing The Bridge. I like, okay. So when it came to the chorus part, to the bridge, I interject there and put South Bronx, South Bronx. And that started that whole craze right there. Yeah. But even before then, a lot of people knew that I was the first person to introduce Roxanne by UTFO.
UTFO,
now,
right.
They made that song. Now, who answered to that? Shantae under behalf of Magic and Molly.
That's right.
What did I do? I played that song.
Yes.
And then who came after Shantae? A female by the name of Sparky D.
Okay.
Right.
Sparky D answered to Shantae. Down the road, I wound up becoming Sparky D DJ when we on the road. So can you imagine Sparky D and I right along with Marley Marl, sometimes Shan, along with Shantae, because sometimes Shan may be in place of Marley Marl to DJ for Shantae. We on the road together doing shows. Their manager, Fly Ty, and I, we used to be roommates.
Wow.
So even though a lot of people look at the rivalry, but they don't understand how we was together on that road, and you have no choice. You know why? Because we up against people we don't know. We don't know what we facing, what we dealing with, and that road is serious. They'll try you and such and such. We stuck together. Later on down the road, what happened? MC Shan, KS1, Mr. Magic, and I got together to do a Sprite commercial.
It's amazing.
That's awesome.
So,
And I know a lot of these names you don't know, but it's okay. I know who they are. I'll tell you later.
I'm sure you know who they are.
This is I want to say my extreme pleasure to have someone like this here, because
thank you.
Without having a red alert, there would be no Mac357. He had a specific way in which he reached his audiences, and still does to this day. People tune in, wherever they are, to listen to Red, because he had a certain je ne sais quoi, certain niche that most people didn't have. He spoke to the people, where a lot of DJs played at the people. And that's why I have such high respect for you, and that's why I reached out to a friend of mine to bring you here today,
Not a problem, man. Tell a friend to connect. That's it.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
Wait. Which is why when you hear me sometimes when we first start the show, you send me tell a friend, tell a mother, tell a brother, tell another. Well, now you know where I got that from.
There you go.
No. But you gotta understand something. When I look at people such as Africa Bambaataa, who I was under his wing, I look at, even before Bambaataa, I look at a person like Kool, who I feel father all of us.
Yes.
And then trickle down to Bam. And then here it is, I get on radio, I look upon Magic, who I just mentioned. You look at all these pillars, you know you didn't come and invent everything yourself. It come from somewhere else.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
what you do, you learn how to mold. Just like, okay, you're a basketball player. Now, so many different greats that you see in pros, they learn from the elders.
Right.
So when you look upon Kobe and LeBron, and they look at Michael.
Right.
Michael used to look at Dr. J. Dr. J looked upon Elgin. I mean, the list is long.
Right.
So it's like, I'm just saying that I looked at people before me, and I'm pleasured to me to keep that door open for people like y'all to come along and put your standards in. Keep it going. It's all about keeping it going. It's not about I. It's all about we.
Yes,
And that's what it is.
Yes, sir.
And it's a pleasure because even at the station where, you know, both BLS and Hot 97 is under the same roof.
Yes.
Right.
Under the same company. So I come across seeing everybody every day. And a lot of the youngins, they see me. Of course, they was trying to learn how to approach me. But when they see after a while that, you know, it's okay, and it feels good when they say Uncle Red. Which I had that title for a while. And, you know, it's like you join together with everybody. That's
Right.
what it's all about.
Well, Uncle Red, definitely, you can come back here anytime.
Okay. All right.
Because your life lessons, the amount of stories that I know you have is beyond measure. Okay. So what I want to know is, name some of the people that you've worked with over the years are legendary. Is there anyone that stands out in your mind that really like, if y'all saw each other today, it would be like time never.
Yeah. Damn. So many people. I don't know where to start. I always keep in mind of my cousin, though. The original DJ Jazzy J.
Wes.
I always keep in mind my cousin because, you know, hand in hand, as I taught Jazzy the basics, and by the time him and the family moved from Harlem up to Bronxville projects, that's when my aunt brought him his set. And then, you know, as he brought his set, started practicing, became into his own, and made friends. And then here it is, somebody introduced him later on down the road to Africa Bambaataa, and he the one that spoke up for me. He said, yo, I want you to put my cousin down. And that's how I came in. So, you know, I always keep my cousin Jazzy in mind. You know, that's what it is. It's like how you just connect with everybody, you know. You build a relationship. You build a rapport. You never know where somebody will reach out as you did and it come back in return.
Which is why I tell people all the time when they come up here, this is not the Breakfast Club, and I give them props for what they do, and I appreciate them for what they do, but we don't do Charlemagne the God up here.
But thank you.
Because he
and you know what?
He.
To each his own.
That's
to
all
each
I
his
gotta
own.
say.
To
Yes.
each his own.
Yeah.
But you know,
do your thing.
If it's not for you, don't do it.
Right.
You know, I mean, what had happened over the years, as far as major radio is concerned, everybody want to become a shock jock.
Yes.
You know, and you know, behind the, how can I say, the Howard Sterns and the Wendy Williams and later on the Stars and stuff, everybody, even you hear it regularly now that everybody want to be the biggest gossiper. You know, want to gossip or want to give their little take on what it is. And sometimes they go overboard like a Charlemagne. But you know what? To each his own. That's not meant for everybody.
And if you didn't know, and this is for you, young man, that nearly cost Wendy Williams her life because of the style of, if you want to say radio, that she was doing. That gossiping. There were some groups that didn't particularly take for that, and they wanted to take her out.
Right.
Yeah.
But she's still doing it. 20 years later.
I mean, I respect her because she took it to another level.
Yeah, now she's on TV talking about people.
Yeah, you know. I mean, I worked with her.
Right.
Yes.
So during the time of both on Kiss and on Hot. And, you know, in the mix of all of that confrontation was going on, I had to be right there while she talking about it.
Yes.
And then imagine now, I don't know what her life was like after radio, but me, I'm amongst everybody in the streets.
Right.
So you can imagine how, yo, who they talking about? Yo, who's the gay rapper? Yo, who got this? Who got that? Who that? I don't know, but you work with them. Do you know people on your job, what they do with their personal or what they talking about? Well, no, but no. If you don't know what they talking about, I don't know what they talk. I don't know what she talking about.
Right.
I stay out of it.
Right.
Now, she definitely gets stars on her show, but she doesn't get as many as she should because a lot of people in the industry won't talk to her. Puffy being one of them. But anywho, is there any clubs that stand out in your mind that you loved working at and that you were like...
So many clubs, so many clubs.
Oh, man.
So
a DJ's life.
Oh, man.
I mean, I used to hear you a lot on Shadow. There was live broadcasters from, it was a Shadow, right?
Yeah, the Shadow nightclub. Big
yes.
up,
Been there
big
a
up
few
to my
times
girl
myself.
Jody. My girl Jody. And I just finished doing this past Tuesday, the last boat ride, the Shadow boat ride.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, we still do that. No, this was the last one for the summer.
Okay.
I've been doing that for 4 years, but we had the live broadcast
bless.
of the Shadow. But in the earlier days, we talking about the Roxy, we talking about the Funhouse, we talking about Roseland. And then from later on, everybody knew me for Union Square, for Latin Quarters.
Yes.
I had a spot that was lower Manhattan in the 90s called Downtime.
Yes.
The list is long. I mean, there was a thing I was doing with some guys called the Red Rum Die Hard events, and we was moving around in the lower Manhattan. I mean, so many.
And you had bum clothing out for a minute, Black Ultimate Men.
Well, you know, it's a statement I say,
Yes.
bum. And everybody used to say, why you call yourself a bum? You know, it sound, of course, it come across as a derogatory, you know, statement, but it stands for Black Ultimate Man that you should say. So once I explained that to some of the fellas, you know, because they like, I used to say to some, what's up, you bum? Yo, man, don't be dissing me, man. And then when I break it down to them, I say, well, you know, I'm telling you the reason I call you a bum because I break it down, it's me, a Black Ultimate Man. A word? Yeah, I'm a bum. Yeah, I'm a bum. I'm a bum. Yo, Red, yo, what's up, you bum? So, you know, that's what it was. But as far as clothing line, no, I had a clothing line. I was in conjunction with a fella down in Atlanta, Georgia, and we had it called Prop Master Retro.
Yes. Now,
We had that.
Prop Master, back in the day was because before you got married and you have a beautiful wife,
Thank you.
he was the prop master. When the proposition, meaning pimping ain't easy.
I enjoy my time. I
You gonna
enjoy
get him
my
in trouble.
time.
You gonna get him in trouble now, man.
Nah, but, you know, I mean, that was then.
Right.
You know, and I respect all women because even though you call yourself a prop master, you know, you have them, you call them your props. That don't mean that you're disrespecting them.
Right.
You're just collecting them.
Oh, man.
I had a collection,
And you heard it here first. folks.
and there was no keeps.
Right.
And they all, each and every one can tell you, I never disrespect them, even though they always feel that, you know, competitive to the next woman because they always going to feel like it's only supposed to be me.
Right.
Understand. But let's enjoy it for the time.
Yes,
being.
sir. Yes, sir. But now, does there any female celebrities that stand out in your mind that you actually dated at one time?
I never got involved with no female celebrities in the business.
Wow.
I think that's a smart move.
Very smart.
No.
There's many
You know,
reasons
You
why.
kept business.
I mean, the infatuation that you see them and they be like, wow, you know, you in your mind you could be like, oh man. But I never took it that far.
That's a
Never took it that far. No, I mean, I can't involve where I eat and where I sleep.
Yes, sir.
I have one more question for you. Can you tell the people about one of your accomplishments that stood out the most to you throughout your career?
To this day, it's an honor, as this gentleman just told you. He just mentioned it. It's an honor that I have a display in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
It's an honor.
It's beautiful.
It was in the mid '90s that they approached me at the time, and that's when they was building up the new. It was new at that time, you know, out there in Cleveland, Ohio, and in the radio section, that's when they wanted to go after individuals who they want to have a display. Now, I'm not inducted, but I'm honored with a display. That's the difference, because they would say, "Oh, you inducted too?" No, I'm not inducted. They have a display, but it's just a great thing because I'm in there with the radio greats.
Right. Yes.
I'm in there with the Frankie Crockers. I'm in there with the
AC Kasem.
With the Wolfman Jacks, with the guy named Alan Free. I'm just giving you a few people from across the country who are great on radio.
Right.
So being the only hip hop personality / DJ in there with a display, they have within a feature me, a short bio, and you can hear a little snippet of my mix. That's it. That's
awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I know we got to get ready to sign off. I just want to say once again, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have such an esteemed guest in our building. Someone who paved the way for us, someone who's given us longevity and shown us the proper way to handle themselves throughout the business, throughout all this time. And once again, we appreciate having you. You are a friend to the evening experience.
Thank you.
For sure.
Please come back anytime. And if there's any place you want us and you want us to tape live and just highlight yourself and what you're doing, just let us know.
All right, respect. Respect to everybody that spent time listening to me, either one time or all the time. If it's on radio, in the clubs, on a tape, whatever it is. Thank you.
God bless you.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
So getting ready to close out. Once again, it's your boy Mac357 and your boy
Big Chuck in the building.
This is the evening experience from 6 to 7 every Thursday. Come check us out. And then you see people like this. Legends.
We lit, baby.
Once again, it's your boy Mac357. This is the evening experience. And one of the sponsors for our show is the Barbecue Rib House in Mount Vernon, New York, 529 Gramerton Avenue. You can give them a call at 914-665-3490 if you're looking for some of the best barbecue in Westchester. I'm telling you, finger delicious. I mean, succulent. Anything that you want, from pork, from beef, from rib, from chicken. All farm animals for that motion. You definitely want to check them out at the Barbecue Rib House, Mount Vernon, New York, 529 Gramerton Avenue. Once again, check out my boy Marcel Koenig, Barbecue Rib House at Facebook.com.